Today on Game and Watch It, hey Poli,
Hi.
who's your daddy in Mario Kart 8?
You are.
Damn right. Hello and welcome to another episode of Game and Watch It. This is episode 27 and it's a very special episode because we have new music, new intros, new break music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to say a big thank you to Poli
Hi.
and Joe. They
Yeah.
wrote some, you guys are really good at what you do. I'm really happy with how it turned out.
It's very new to us. It's a really weird program to use for making chip tunes because you don't record it like you would in, let's say, GarageBand or Pro Tools or something like that.
What do you use?
You're essentially creating sheet music digitally, and it runs. It's called a tracker, and it just runs the program, plays the music back. So you have to like break apart the music and then recreate it in sheet music form almost. It's really, really cool though.
Yeah, and I look forward to see what else you guys will produce because so far, so good.
Yeah?
It'll be good.
I agree. Hey Arzee, what are you playing?
Stardew Valley. It's nice.
What's Stardew Valley?
It's life.
Arzee, put the system down.
I don't want to.
Put it down and talk
it.
about it.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? You can keep playing. Hey, Poli.
Hi.
What are you playing?
Same thing as last week, oddly enough.
Okay.
Pokemon Silver, still running through it. Still love that game to death.
How's it look on the 3DS screen?
I mean, it's like a tad bit blurry, but it's nothing crazy.
Do they have pixel perfect mode?
No,
that?
oddly
No.
enough.
Weird.
Yeah, there's no settings inside of it, so it's very strange how they didn't implement that, but I'm still having a shit ton of fun with it.
Okay.
Yeah, beyond that, Cuphead. Oh, Cuphead.
I'm upset at Cuphead.
Tell me why.
I'm really in love with that game. I love the art style. I love traditional hand-drawn animation and all that kind of stuff. I was looking up interviews, and it's a Canadian-made game. They're from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatoon.
So that's always good.
Calabria.
So I got my credit card out. I downloaded Steam again, and I tried downloading it, but it's only for Windows right now.
Yeah.
It makes me very sad because I really, really, really want to play it.
Yeah, but I'm good because I have a PC.
Ugh.
No, you go, Polly.
Yeah. PC Master
So
Race.
you've been playing Cuphead.
I have. And I got a little farther in it. Not too far. I'm in World 2 right now. I'm at the roller coaster
slimes.
boss. It's I got to play multiplayer. Had a few of my cousins over for Thanksgiving. We were sitting in the basement, just playing games, brought
That's-
my PC down.
Are
It's
they-
nice. Cousins are nice.
Yeah.
Are they gamers?
Kind of.
Yeah, because Cuphead is really hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so it's my two younger cousins, or three, I should say, younger cousins specifically. So we're all playing. They all play games with me, but I feel like I'm like the biggest gamer out of the bunch. But we were sitting there and playing, and it is still awesome with multiplayer. But I'm starting to feel a little disenchanted by it.
Yeah, what's going on?
It's-
Disenchanted.
It's
Disenchanted.
It's
I'm
weird.
engaged with this conversation.
Arzee, shut up!
I don't like how they scaled the difficulty. All they really did is just like, oh, okay, so it takes like 2 times the amount of hits for enemies to die now, which completely fucks with the flow of the game.
Yeah, but you could like you could upgrade your finger gun and all that kind of stuff, right?
To a certain degree, what they've done is they've added certain abilities to things that you can change. So there's
Okay.
like a homing gun, and the bullets will find enemies for you, but they're weaker. So again, it messes with the flow of the game.
Okay.
There's another one, the spread gun. That's like, the Contra spread gun.
Yeah.
It shoots out 3 bullets, 2 diagonals, 1 straight. But it only shoots like, I don't know, a few inches in front of you.
Okay.
It's almost like Metroid, the original Metroid.
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
have
where
the
it's
first
got,
gun?
it's got a very short range.
Yeah, where the original gun just, I mean, it's amazing. It shoots all
Disappeared
the way
after
across
like a
the-
couple meters.
Oh, no, I'm saying in Cuphead. The original gun in Cuphead, it shoots all the way across the screen. So
Yeah.
to downgrade, to get barely any, like, good returns,
Yeah.
it's not worth it so far.
Okay.
No, mind you, again, I'm only in the second world, so I want to see how this game goes. But I'm starting to get even a little disenchanted with the platforming levels. They seem a little tacked on, which I guess a lot of people were worried about when they said that, like, okay, guys, it's no longer a boss rush mode.
Yeah.
We're going to add some platforming levels. Like, some of them are good, but they're really just not that interesting.
Yeah, but it's only, I heard it's like only 30% platforming.
It is. A lot
is-
of the game is the
which
bosses.
is good.
It's
Because-
a 35% exploration. That's very important.
Relax, Ubisoft.
Is it also quote unquote badass?
Quote unquote badass. Hashtag badass.
Yeah, the bosses are incredible.
Yeah.
And hard as fuck. Like, oh my god. I've been trying to beat the roller coaster boss for like half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I like a good challenge.
Still can't do it.
I'm down. I'm ready. Give it to me. And put it on the Switch, too, because that's all I have.
Another funny thing I heard, and mind you, this is conjecture right now, but I heard that this is a timed exclusive.
I can't believe that because this is being funded by Microsoft. So I know Minecraft has been out on other platforms, but this one seems more like I don't know, more Microsofty.
I know where you're coming from, but if I'm not mistaken, the same thing to a certain degree happened with No Man's Sky.
Okay,
You know, the game that shall not be named.
but that's
whatever.
a Sony exclusive,
It was.
and now it's
For
not.
well, I mean, after the first, I think, month, it got released on PC.
Yeah, but PC's always a different ballgame.
Yeah, but it's still, at the end of the day, when something's like a Sony exclusive, you don't see Uncharted on PC, right? You don't see Infamous on PC.
That's true. Yeah.
Right? It's one of those situations where, yeah, it's exclusive, but it's not really exclusive. So I'm thinking in the next year or so, maybe year and a half, even two,
Yeah.
we'll start seeing Cuphead being released for the PS4 or the Switch.
Yeah, I hope not. But look at Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley that came out on 2015.
Yeah.
And, here we are in 2017, and we got an addicted player.
Arzee.
That's a nice farm you got.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Very special. to me.
What else you playing?
No, that's pretty much
Very
it.
special.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you, Rusty?
Oh, okay. So I'm not playing it yet, but I'm ready to play it, and that's Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
I just went to EB Games before getting here, and I pre-ordered it.
It's coming out next week? Or the
2
week
weeks,
after?
27th.
Gotcha.
And the cool thing about pre-ordering it at EB Games is you get an air freshener exclusive to Canada.
Oh.
And it's showing up on Reddit, so it's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a little joke that the internet found. I'm just curious on what will the smell be?
I don't know.
Dirty Italian plumber?
Nipples?
No, he does have his shirt on, which is all right.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm just happy I didn't get it then.
Yeah. I also bought Samus Returns.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I plan on playing that after Super Mario Odyssey.
So you just got it for the backlog?
Yeah, basically.
Got to instantly put it on the back burner?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the reason why I can't play it yet is because I am also addicted to Stardew Valley, and that has taken up most of my time. But before we talk about Stardew Valley, I just want to say I put in some time to Splatoon 2 yesterday.
Okay, now I'm
We had
definitely
the
bored.
Splatfest, vampire versus werewolves. I was Team Werewolf, obviously, because I'm hairy. And we lost really, really bad. We lost.
Yeah, that's
vampires.
horrendous. It's the first, is it the first full sweep there's been in a
Yeah, first full sweep. Vampires destroyed us.
Which is odd because, with the amount of furries that were populating that game, as per our
Oh yeah,
episode 3 or
that's
4
right.
episodes ago or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
and even Marina
I'm
was
actually really surprised werewolves didn't take this because every single Splatfest so far, it's been the least popular that ends up winning. It's always been the popular vote gets 1 point, and then whatever doesn't get the popular vote gets the other 2.
Huh.
And Pearl's choices have swept thus far.
which is odd because she's not the popular one.
She's not.
No, for now.
The tides have been turning slowly but steadily. You're starting to see more Pearl fan art on the internet, less Marina stuff, and it's just the way of the world.
I'm just more surprised you're not playing your Switch right now.
Yeah,
By the way, anybody who's listening right now and not watching us on YouTube, Arzee is just sitting there, just playing his
He's got
Switch.
an addiction.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And it's okay, but I just want to talk about one more thing about Splatoon. The Japanese Splatfest was toilet paper. It was do you prefer the toilet paper over or behind?
Over. There is no question. I can't
Over.
believe anybody
Over.
would go
Over 100%. When I go to people's
Yeah.
houses, if it's back, I will change it. I hate when it's on the back, but you'll be happy to know that Team Over won in Japan.
Okay, so
Good.
the truth came out because I thought once again the underdog's going to win, and those
No, Japan.
freaks.
Japan knows what they're doing. They're good.
They wouldn't let that shit come to pass.
No, definitely not.
Listen here, you little freaks.
I've also been playing a lot of Mitomo. If you follow our Instagram account at G&WI without an ampersand, fully spelled out.
Yeah.
A-N-D.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've been playing a lot of Mitomo and making a lot of picks for everybody to see.
Yeah.
Check out Monday to Friday. You'll always see a new post.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, and they are super cute. Like,
Yeah.
super cute.
I've been taking all the photos behind the Mitomo are taken by myself, so I spend a lot of time trying to make cute little scenes. Now, Stardew Valley.
Yes, so I had the Stardew Valley taken away from me. It's nice.
Yeah.
We've had the game for like 10 days now. Mm-hmm. So I'm at like 39 hours so far.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Damn.
Yeah.
When did this game come out?
Thursday before last.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm already in spring of year 2, which is, not crazy far by internet perspectives.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Pretty far by average perspectives, and just my farm has become very industrialized. It's mostly automated now with sprinklers.
So essentially, you're all set. You can just sit there and do nothing.
I could if I wanted to, but I'm a greedy fuck. So now I have my sprinklers going, and at the same time, I'm using the same amount of energy for the crops that I had in the previous year. So even on my off days, just for my ranching enterprises, I'm making about 5,000 gold a day.
I wish I had 5,000 gold. I'm in halfway in summer on first year.
You poor thing.
Whatever.
Probably invested poorly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always
rusty,
loved
though.
Harvest Moon. I played the first time I picked up Harvest Moon 64 at Electronics Boutique back in the day. I was like, "What's this game?" And I picked it up just blindly, and I immediately was hooked. And after that game, I played Friends of Mineral Town, Harvest Moon 3 on Game Boy Color, A Wonderful Life on GameCube. I just spent half of my childhood, playing these games. And then I came around like, I spent too much time with Harvest Moon. I'm done with this series. And now I'm back.
That was the most intense I've seen Rusty in a very long time.
I played a lot of Harvest Moon. It's one of my favorite games.
Dude, it's like you were experienced PTSD. That was intense.
It takes a lot out of you.
It does.
I've lent you some of my Harvest Moon games, so you've played
I played
Harvest
the
Moon.
Super Nintendo one. I think I played 64 as well.
How did you play the Super Nintendo? Oh, emulator.
I can neither confirm nor deny these allegations.
Well, that's okay. Emulating that game is fine because it's super expensive and super rare, so I'll allow it.
Well, that's nice of you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
I remember specifically one Christmas Eve, I was playing that game, and one of my cousins were over, and they're like, what is this game? I'm like, it's a farming game. They're like, you're doing yard work in a video game? I'm like, yeah. And they just kind of left the room after that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna describe it like that.
Some good life lessons you learned from Harvest Moon 64, like how to budget and...
Yeah, nobody cares about Harvest Moon, though. Stardew Valley is where it's at.
Well, it's basically a clone of Harvest Moon.
Yeah, but it's better.
Well, obviously, it came out
It's a lot
2017,
better.
man.
Like it is an amazing achievement for being something that is made by ostensibly one person. Like
Yeah.
I know there's been more work done by other people due to the porting and so on.
Of course.
But I mean, it does kind of show in a way like the Switch launch is buggy to say the least. Like I'm constantly having the auto crackling bug that it basically forces you to leave the game.
Yeah, I had
What?
that too. No, it
It doesn't force you, but it's the only way to fix it is to save, leave the game, and re-enter the game, and then the audio.
Yeah, the
crackling
speakers
stops.
start to crackle, and you're like, "What is this? My system?"
It even does it on the TV. It's not just on portable mode.
Yeah, I was worried.
It'll do it through your TV speakers, and there's other little tiny glitches. Like some of the controls are kind of wonky. There's some things you can't do. Quite
Yeah, I haven't
properly.
experienced that, but my biggest gripe is that stupid arrow. It has the pointer that's
cursor.
the cursor from the PC version. It's assigned to the right joystick,
Weird.
and it's just like, why is this here? Get this out. This is
Yeah.
not a PC game.
It does make decorating your house a lot easier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's actually when the game's loading, it's fun to wiggle the cursor.
Oh, I didn't know that was something you could do.
Yeah, just stupid fun.
Oh, okay. It's just
So
literally the cursor moving.
Pro cursor now. I changed my mind.
This is a cursor positive episode.
Yeah.
Just walked yourself right into that one, eh?
So Arzee, who do you like? Who do you think you're gonna date?
Well, right now it's between Leah, Abigail, and Maru or Maru. Yeah,
Boo boo.
yeah. I'm not getting tied down right now. I'm really focusing on my career and my farm and my personal.
You're playing
goals.
the field.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
see,
you
I
know
see.
what I mean. Just getting to know the people and
Yeah.
the folks around.
I see.
I'm flabbergasted right now seeing this from the outside.
Well, I
have not played this game
Giving
at
rocks
all.
to Haley every day because she's a stuck-up bitch.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
got one of those too, eh?
Well, I like the stuck
Yeah.
up male. He's Alex. He's also like the shallow type
Yeah,
guy.
you would.
But it's so nice. You go into his. You go into his bedroom and he takes his shirt off and he starts working out, and I'm just sitting there watching. I'm like, oh my god, this is.
I'm surprised you didn't
This is
find him
nice.
in the steam baths yet.
Oh yeah. You told me that today. He's in the steam bath. So
Yeah, he works out at the bathhouse too.
I'll be there. But I also have a crush on Sebastian and who's that other? Oh, Shane. He's a drunk.
He's such a curmudgeon, but I love just giving him beers.
Yeah.
'Cause he gets so delighted every time you give him a beer, and otherwise he's so moody.
Do you know Sebastian's favorite stuff?
I do not, because I never. He was the last person I found in town. Actually, it took me like 3 or 4 days.
I know.
to actually
I found him like,
find him.
who are you? I
Yeah.
didn't see you anywhere.
It's because he's always lurking in his basement because his mom doesn't understand him.
Yeah. My partner
Oh, he's one of those types, eh?
He has a stepdad.
Oh God. All right, fair enough.
Dimitri. Oh yeah, Dimitri.
Demetrius is his stepdad.
Obviously, yeah. Okay, cool. What,
Oh, it took me a second for me to be like, obviously. I'm like, oh yeah, because
he white.
white.
He
Yeah.
white. Cool.
Anyway, now that we've reached that level of awkwardness.
Tell me more.
You're also playing SteamWorld Dig 2?
Yeah, so I mean, I needed something to play in the 24 to 48 hours before Stardew Valley came out, which was enough time to beat SteamWorld Dig 2, which was a lot of fun. I never played the first one, but it reminds me of this game. The name of it escapes me right now, but it was a similar game that would just sort of delve deeper into the earth, pick up more money and valuables at which to sell to upgrade yourself, and then dig deeper.
SteamWorld Dig 1?
No.
Obviously.
No. Yeah, no, it was fun. It was a fun little 24-hour, 48-hour romp. Like, I literally beat that game in 2 days.
What was your time on it?
I don't know, but it was a very short game, I found, which was what I was going for at the time. But it's just amazing, the comparison, because SteamWorld Dig is $5 more on the Switch shop than Stardew Valley, and I probably spent at least 3 or 4 times as many hours on Stardew Valley already.
Stardew Valley doesn't end.
It doesn't.
It's one of those games.
But it just, it's what's so nice about it is that there's no deadlines. There's very, very few things in the game that you could just miss irrevocably. Like, there's maybe 2 or 3 things that could happen that if you do something out of sequence, these events will never happen to you, but none of them actually matter.
Okay.
Like, there's no 5 p.m. deadline to get your groceries in on time. There's just the course of the day. There's the days of the week. And if you miss something, there's always next year.
Yeah.
And you can always come back around the horn again.
Oh, that's good. So that means that everything opens up to you as the player, which is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very relaxing. It's kind of happy. It's a happy game. It's a feel-good game.
I was going to say it fits the feel for sure.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell from what I've heard from like you guys, Trickster, it seems like a very cool game. I am thinking about getting it. I have so many other things to play first.
You got to get your priorities just check.
Destiny 2's coming.
Stardew Valley 2.
Destiny 2, gee.
No, go look that game up on the internets because it's a doozy apparently. Just saying.
I still remember how Destiny 1 was supposed to be like an 8-year game or something like that.
Oh yeah, and then that never happened.
Yeah. And then they released DLC that they forced you to play.
It's an MMO. Go figure. Yeah.
It's okay. You're going to play that on PC, obviously, right?
Yeah, which is why I haven't played it yet. It's been out already.
Is it out?
It's been out for like a month and a half already.
Why aren't you playing it?
Because it's not out on PC. It's only out on console.
On Mac?
No.
Is it a Mac exclusive?
No. Yes, it's a Mac.
Mac exclusive by Bungie.
That game company.
They really hate Microsoft. Oh, that game company. Have we talked about Sky yet?
I think so. I don't remember.
I don't think we have, but
It's okay.
we'll
whatever.
talk about it closer to the release date, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, Paulie, you scored a Super Nintendo Classic Edition recently.
I did
From which region?
from Europe.
The more colorful region.
Yeah.
The
It's-
Famicom.
Yeah, I got the Super Famicom with the
No,
Super Nintendo games.
It's
But it's the look of the Super Famicom.
Yeah.
Is there a
It's the
different
exact-
game selection for the European version?
No, it's the North American selection, but with the look of the Japanese one. It's the
Okay.
perfect in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's really. I love those
Yeah.
colorful buttons, and you saw that on the new the new 3DS. Those little cute Super Famicom buttons.
Yeah.
Have you received it yet?
No, it should be here on Tuesday.
Okay.
But there's a bit of a sour taste in my mouth right now because I heard great recommendations saying like, "Hey guys, There's this forwarding company from Italy. If you get it from there, it's the cheapest one out of all the European outlets. You can get it from there.
How
get
much
it for
did
a
you
fair
pay?
price, whatever. It was 79.99 euros, which when you convert it is like
120 Canadian.
117, which when you pay for
Not bad, Rob.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you pay for the one here with tax, it's like 112, 115.
Okay.
So whatever, I paid a $5 premium on the console itself just to bring it over here.
So
I'm happy
includes the
with that.
shipping too?
Well, that's the thing. It did free shipping to the forwarder. Now, in my experience with Tenzo, when I imported stuff from like Japan, and I'm talking like a gigantic box full of amiibos, like 12 amiibos. This thing was huge.
Yeah.
Only cost you like $20 to ship it. 60 euros, and I had no choice.
Did you get screwed by
fuck.
duty, or is that just the cost for shipping?
That was the cost for shipping, and I think that's also the thing where they're like, okay, yeah, well, we're going to cover your duty charges and this and that. No, they made a fair chunk of change.
yeah,
off
you
of me.
paid a lot more than a $5 premium for that console.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's okay. It's really cool.
It's cool, but
No one will have it around here, so it's special.
I know, but I paid scalper price essentially, without mind you pocketing a scalper, lining his pocket. So at least
That's
there's an
true.
advantage to that. But like, god damn it, you shopitaly.com, they will charge you out of the ass. Don't bother. Don't do it.
Fair enough. So we have the NES Classic, we have the Super Nintendo Classic, and next year, what do you think we're gonna get?
I don't know. We've been hearing some rumors.
Yeah, I
you
wonder
think-
if there's a rumor we were gonna be talking
You
about.
think it would be the N64 Classic Edition, but no. A twist from Nintendo.
Yeah.
They filed a trademark talking about the Game Boy Classic Edition, and
Yep.
they had a little picture of the classic Game Boy that came out in '89, and they described it as like a portable storage system.
Yeah, it's weird. They did this for like merchandising as well, so they packed it all into one.
Exactly.
It's the full design of the old Game Boy, so they can make like keychains and T-shirts and all that kind of stuff out of it. But then on top of that, they had this little like thing in quotations being exactly what you said. It's going to be console oriented as well, so we don't know what's really happening with it.
It makes the most sense to have the Game Boy as the next one.
Yeah, it does
The
make
N-
sense chronologically.
The
in terms of
N64.
what they're
Well,
doing
it
with
should
the
have come
virtual
out.
console.
Yeah, it should have come out between the the NES and the SNES.
Well, I'm sure that they're going to go more than just classic Game Boy games.
Let's talk about it. What do you guys? What do you think?
That's my thoughts. I would think they would want to mix in the different generations because I just don't. It would really surprise me if they would make a Game Boy original mini, a Game Boy Color mini,
Yeah.
a Game Boy Advance mini. I see them bundling them together.
This is the thing. If they're going to build this, they need to somehow build an L&R button into it if they're going to play Game Boy Advance games.
See, I disagree. I don't think we're going to see Game Boy Advance
I
because
don't know
that's what
about
I'm
Game Boy
saying,
Advance.
right?
I would say
The
Game Boy
li-
and Game Boy Color.
yeah, the library between original
Yeah.
Game Boy and Game Boy Color is huge.
But then why not release a Game Boy Color Classic? It was such a prettier system. It was not as chunky.
because it doesn't have the nostalgic look of the original.
Of course
I think
it does. It looks almost exactly like the original.
no, it doesn't.
I don't know. I disagree.
I think like the NES. I think the original Game Boy has that appeal that the Game Boy Color does not. I think
Okay.
I think we're gonna see a Game Boy Pocket-like system. It's gonna look like the original Game Boy.
Okay.
It's gonna have the same colors, the burgundy buttons.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be Game Boy Pocket-sized and maybe with a slightly bigger screen.
Game Boy
Maybe.
Pocket?
I would be okay with
Are
that.
you talking about the Game Boy Micro?
No, Game Boy Pocket.
Game Boy Pocket didn't have burgundy
It
buttons.
did.
I know, but
same
it-
style with the original.
Oh.
I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be. I think it's gonna be because I think the original Game Boy is too big.
It would be. That's what I'm saying. It's chunky. It's way too chunky.
I think the Game Boy Pocket was the perfect size. Like it fit in your
Yes.
pocket.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's essentially what the color was. The color just had that weird bulge at the
Yeah,
back.
if anything, the Game Boy Pocket was a little bit too small.
no, it was the same size as the Color.
It was.
Was it?
Yeah,
exactly
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
size?
The only difference is the Game Boy Color had that weird kind of
Yeah,
bulge-esque
for the
style.
batteries.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Game Boy Color had a smaller screen.
Fair
much-
enough.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're gonna see the Pocket design, but with
Okay.
because it also has the same dimensions as the Game Boy original.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. Well, I mean, who knows? I mean, you're talking by percentage, right? And-
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, either way, no matter what it's actually going to be, because I mean, if they're going to follow suit, it's going to be a Game Boy but smaller, just like the NES and the SNES were the
Oh yeah, so
same
maybe
thing but smaller.
Maybe it will be the original design, just smaller with a bigger screen.
Yeah, depending on how they implement it, it could work very well. It's probably going to work better if they do it right, because there won't be any short cables for controllers or tiny little 1-foot HDMI cable that comes with it or anything like that.
Yeah, but they
So-
will have to have a screen in it.
which is fine. But again, it doesn't create a hindrance. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Having to buy extenders, having to buy an extra HDMI cable to make sure this thing can be played from
Do you think
a
they'll have
distance.
an option where it could be streamed to your television,
Maybe.
like a Super Nintendo?
That
could
would be
happen.
nice to have like an aux out setting for it, but that would be unprecedented, I think. For
I think it'd be
Game Boy
sloppy.
handhelds.
No. Oh, for Game Boys, yes, but
Yeah.
not for handhelds in general.
For
The PSP had
Nintendo
it.
handhelds, though, like
Yeah.
I don't see them doing that. Personally, I think we're going to see like a one size unit. Maybe they'll even have two different versions of it, like a super retro version and a Game Boy Color version.
Possibly,
I
yeah.
agree with Rusty that it's more likely they would go retro Game Boy in terms
Yeah.
of the styles. I just don't think the original Game Boy has enough of a range of games to really stand up the way that NES does. And that's why I think they need to bring in the Game Boy Color games as well.
But the Game Boy Color, there wasn't a good amount of Game Boy Color games, to be honest.
Well, that's why I feel like it's going to be supplementary to what's in there.
Well, I mean, what do you guys think for the games then? If we're going to look at a list of 30, 25 games that are going to be included in this console,
Yeah.
what do you think is going to be there? I mean, we have the easy
What's
start
the
a
Zelda?
list.
Link's Awakening?
Link's Awakening.
Yeah, we have
Oracles.
Yeah, the Oracle games. If we're going to do Game Boy Color, 100%, both of them can be.
Both
on
of
there.
them?
It would have to be. You can't have one
Oracle
without the
and,
other.
and Seasons.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other. There's no question.
Okay.
We're probably going to see Metroid 2,
Oh, for sure, Metroid 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
I mean, Super Mario
Land 1 and 2,
Yeah.
Golden Coins. Both
Yeah.
of those are going to be on there for sure. I think.
Wasn't there a Wario Land game?
Yeah. Oh, there was 4.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god, that's
maybe-
right. It was 4 was on
Game Boy Advance, yeah,
But
so-
1 through 3 were on this.
Do you think we'll see all 3?
I think we might just get 3.
Oh, okay.
3 was the better out of the bunch for sure.
And it also had color support.
It did.
Donkey Kong 94, 100%. That
Yeah.
game is,
Yes, that
is
would be
incredible.
huge. It's
and
funny.
It had special support for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it actually had like a color mode that you could only play on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, on the Super Game Boy.
so I think we'll see
Nice.
that rendition finally on.
It's funny. Me and Joe, I think it was while we were recording the break song, we were just kind of talking, and he brought up Donkey Kong 94. I'm like,
So
oh my
good.
god, you played that game? He's like, yeah, that game was the best game for the Game Boy.
It was the first game where Mario got his acrobatic skills. He could
Yeah.
backflip and side jump and all that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot and stomp, butt stomp. No, maybe not. But
No,
Wasn't there
no.
also a Donkey Kong Country for Game Boy?
There was, but it wasn't very good.
I guess the
It was
Donkey
one-
Kong Land. If I'm
Donkey
not
Kong
mistaken.
Land 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And 1 and 2 were ports of the Super Nintendo version. And the third one was an original adventure, and that was actually
Really?
it was actually really good.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think we'll see any of the lands on the Game Boy Classic?
If
Maybe
this is the
we'll
thing.
put it in the maybe pile.
Yeah, if there's anything I'm going to suggest, considering it's the original adventure, put 3 on there,
I agree. Yeah.
right?
I see Tetris and Tetris 2
Of
maybe making it on
course.
there.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe Dr. Mario.
Which Tetris though?
Yeah.
I might say Tetris 2, just because that was a big deal that was on Game Boy.
But I think the original Tetris, because that's like the one that everybody
Yeah.
played. I think that's the one, or maybe like the color mode. What was the difference between 1 and 2?
Tetris 2 had like circles as well as squares.
Oh, okay, so no.
It was kind of like a.
We'll put Tetris 2 in the maybe pile.
Yeah. Do you think they'll make any? Do you think any Pokemon games would make it
Oh,
on
of
there?
course.
Oh, that's
Game Freak is
tough.
screwed up though.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know.
Oh, we're this will sell the Game Boy Classic Edition.
Wait.
100%.
Hold up. I think if there's going to be any, just because they held back on it for some unknown reason, if there's going to be one, it's going to be Crystal. It's the only one that wasn't released on the Virtual Console for the 3DS. See what I'm
Is
saying?
Pokemon Yellow on 3DS?
It is.
Oh, okay.
They had red, blue, yellow, and then they had gold and silver, but no word from Crystal.
an interesting
0.
theory.
Right?
I think we're gonna see them all.
No,
Oh,
that would be
no,
too
no.
much. That would be
I
way
think if
too
you,
much. Why would you bother? You're
because you have to have red and blue on there. You
No,
have
you
to.
don't. You don't have to. That's the thing. I think Crystal, because you go back to Kanto with that. I think it would be the
I know,
best
but
one.
they sell these systems not based on like. Sure, it's about the games, but it's also about the nostalgia factor. And a lot of people played Red and Blue. A lot of people played the original Tetris, and that's why I'm still gunning for more of like what sold more as opposed to what was better. And I know Gold and Silver sold very well.
Well, as far as I know, oh, actually, no, yeah, you're right. They didn't sell better than Red and Blue. Red and Blue was the top one out of the bunch, I'm pretty sure.
For sure, yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you think? We'll see. I think we're gonna see the trilogy: Red, Blue, and Yellow.
And you don't think they would put the sequels on there as well?
Wait, then just put yellow on there.
So Yellow and Crystal.
Yellow and Crystal, for sure yellow, I think, considering what you said, because it does make a lot of sense. Yellow makes the most sense because you get all 3 starters. There's barely any exclusives. You get everything that you would normally get.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's going to be any trading. there probably wouldn't be any functionality
No,
across the board.
there has to be trading.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But then what are they going to do, right? What other games have multiplayer
they're gonna have.
functionality?
It's gonna come with a link cable.
No.
You don't think
No,
so?
it's-
Do you think they'll have wireless communication, or is that too much?
I think it's too much. I think it's too much for everything. I think it's just going to be the console itself, and that's it.
So let's say Yellow and Crystal,
I
two
don't know,
Pokemon
and
games.
that's why I'm not too concerned about the price point, because what's a 2DS cost these days? Like $90?
Pretty much, yeah.
And that's a
2DS
two-screen system. Like, that's why I'm...
Yeah, but we're talking I think it's gonna, because the NES was $69, the Super Nintendo was $79. I think this will probably be in the $79, because the original Game Boy was $90 when it came out.
Yeah, but
it
there's
can't
a
be more.
screen too, though.
Those screens, they're so like they make so many 3DS systems.
Doesn't mean they can't capitalize on it, though. You know what I mean?
I think it'll be $79. They'll do the same price point as
I agree.
Super Nintendo.
Dude, what do you think the resolution of the screen? Because to make it authentic, they have to match the resolution, or else if they upscale, it'll be blurry.
Yeah, but they don't make screens in that resolution anymore.
Yeah, that'd be
so-
more expensive.
Yeah, I know. I can't see it happening. I think it's going to be upscaled to a certain degree, but also not like anti-aliased or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It'll
so
be
like pixel
straight,
perfect. Yeah. And I'm sure they'll have a filter for puke green mode.
Yeah,
They'll have the green mode. They'll
yeah,
have
for sure.
the gray mode. And remember when you put old Game Boy games into Game Boy Color, and you could always have those.
Just add the random color filter.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was 8 combinations.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, there was a Castlevania game for this?
Yeah,
console. That's got to go on there.
Rebirth.
Mega Man.
Yeah.
They had those
yeah.
Mega Man games.
Yeah,
they were like kind of like the NES ones, but really not like.
I'm
the
gonna
NES
put
ones.
Kirby 1, Kirby 2,
Yes,
and
easy,
Kirby
easy.
yeah.
Kirby 1 and 2, Kirby's Dream Land 1
and
and 2 are
Kirby
on there.
Pinball.
Yeah, I completely agree
Do
with
you think
that.
we'll see Pokemon Pinball?
Pokemon Pinball. I thought,
No, that was only
yeah,
for
I thought that was
GBA.
advanced.
No, that was Game Boy Color.
It was Game Boy Color?
Oh, 100%. I destroyed that game.
Okay, fair
And it
enough.
had Rumble. It had a Rumble feature. You put a little AAA battery in it.
That's right. It was
There was
color.
also the Pokemon Puzzle Challenge,
Yeah.
which I forgot that I bought that on Virtual Console and beat it the same afternoon.
Yeah, I don't know what else is
So
going to
what
be on
third
there.
party support do we see from the NES and the Super and the SNES? Is it Konami, and Capcom?
Square Enix.
Square, yeah. Oh,
Where we're gonna have the Secret of
Adventure?
Mana game that was a Final Fantasy game.
Final
yeah,
Fantasy
yeah.
Adventure.
Yeah,
for
that's it.
sure.
That's on there. So that'll be from them because I don't think they really touched much on the Game Boy Color. Shantae.
Oh, Shantae
The
for
original
sure.
Shantae.
Yeah.
Shantae was on Game Boy?
That was
Game Boy
the first
Color.
one. Game Boy Color.
It was one of the last games released on Game Boy, and it's so rare because of that.
Yeah.
What else? There's so many Game Boy games.
There's that like vampire game that you
Oh,
play.
Kid Dracula.
That's it.
But
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
it never came out in the States.
Yeah, but I mean, Star Fox 2 never came out anywhere, so who knows? They might do a re-release.
You know that castle game for the bell tolls? It was a frog game. It was a Nintendo game.
Yes, I know exactly which one because they released it on the Virtual Console. I think
No,
it was
no, no,
Miyamoto's
no,
first
they
game. It was
didn't.
the puzzle game or whatever.
No, that's Mole Mania.
Oh, that's right. It was the mole game. You're right. You're right.
I think
you're
we'll
right.
see Mole Mania just because it's a Miyamoto game, and
Yeah.
it didn't sell very well.
Okay, Mole Mania's on there. I agree.
And that castle game, it was a Japanese exclusive. I think that's going to be our Star Fox 2 for
Yeah?
the Game Boy Classic
Okay.
Edition.
Okay.
Okay, writing down Castle Game.
The castle game, there's a trophy in one of the Smash games.
Okay.
It's like a little kid and he's got a frog. It's I think
I think I know what you're talking about, but I
we'll get that name and
Yeah.
we'll
I don't know.
No,
Do
we'll
nothing
forget.
with it
We'll-
probably.
exactly.
we'll forget about this conversation.
Okay, we got a few
never
more
happened.
slots. What else came out back in the
I had one in my head and I lost it.
day? Okay, let's get
Oh,
back to that.
Gargoyle.
Oh, Gargoyle's Quest.
Yeah.
Capcom for sure.
Yeah.
Think we'll see a
Gargoyle's
Mega
Quest is
Man?
on there, and that was Konami, wasn't it?
No, that was Capcom.
Because
Super
of that's right.
Ghouls and Ghosts.
That's
yeah.
right. It was Capcom.
What do you think the battery life will be on this system?
I don't know.
And
Like
will it
3
be back-
hours?
Yeah.
No, I think this will be like over 12. I think this will
I
be a
don't know about
full
that.
day thing.
I don't know. It's gonna be pretty chunky considering they actually might be able to fit in like a solid
I think
3,000, 3,500
If they're trying to
milliamp
keep this down to
battery
the
in it.
79 price point, I'm saying 5 hours.
Okay. I'm going to say 12 hours. And I'm going to say it's backlit.
I'll hit it right in between. Just say
Or
whatever.
if it's
9
not
and a half,
backlit,
10.
they're going to have one of the glower.
It has to be backlit.
Unless it comes with a worm light.
No,
Those worm lights suck.
Those worm lights were so clutch though.
They were the worst.
it was the worm lights and then the successor, the shark light.
Oh yeah, the shark light.
Yeah, the shark
Yeah.
lights. You gotta love them.
Okay, any other Game Boy games?
I don't know. I mean,
Last call for Game Boy games.
I don't know. We should have. What do you guys think? I mean,
oh my
do you
god.
think, right?
Who are you talking to?
No one. There's someone else in the room.
yeah, that's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments if there's anything that you want to see on the list. We'll throw it on there.
Yeah.
Cool.
And now let's go to break and
Yep.
let's debut our break music by Polly and Joe.
Cool.
Take a listen.
See ya.
Welcome back.
I
I hope you enjoyed that song. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that song. It was,
yeah.
yeah. So,
So-
what are we talking about next?
Oh, you tell me, Mr. Host Man.
Atari.
Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah. shit,
What
I forgot
a
about
good
that.
looking system that is.
I like it though.
I like my systems to look like clock radios that was purchased between the years 1990 and 1995.
But that's why I like it. It's like retro but modern.
Yeah,
It's-
I think it's one of the nicest consoles to date, to be honest.
I think it's horrendous.
I don't know. I disagree.
Yeah, the look is nice, but the system itself will be horrendous. I guarantee that.
Yeah, no, it's probably not going to be good.
It's set up
so many
for
things.
failure.
Well, okay. Do you want to let our listeners know about some of the details?
but I think you do.
Oh, okay. Thanks. So, it's kind of set up almost like a mini PS4 in a sense. It's got an AMD CPU. It's got a Radeon Graphics GPU. That's what the PS4 is using for its internals. I mean, whether or not it's the exact chip and GPU.
So that
who
thing can
knows?
run PS4 games, basically.
They're saying that they're going to be putting new games on it, so I can automatically assume it's going to be at least PS3 level, probably closer to next gen.
But can it run Crisis?
Is it
Serious.
Is it 4K?
We don't know.
At 60 frames
haven't
per
mentioned
second?
anything
It's
about
very
that.
relevant to my interest.
No, they're going to save that for the Atari Box X.
Box
Atari
One,
Box
Xbox.
X. Yeah.
Finish the sentence.
Atari Box, Xbox One, Xbox One,
60 frames per second.
4K.
The Atari Box One X.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna have a bunch of Atari Classic games already built into it, as far as I can tell. Well, whatever. I mean, fair enough. But if you remember, like games like Centipede were awesome. I used to love that game as a kid. So
You know what?
having
I
that on
do.
there as
I
well as
do
everything
remember
else-
playing. Me and my family, we rented a cottage back when we were little. I was really young, and there was an Atari there, and I was playing Pitfall.
Yeah.
That game was fun. I was addicted to it all weekend.
Yeah, they made some good games. They're very, very archaic, but they're good. Like some of them, mind you, but whatever. Now, we also know that it's going to be a multimedia center as well. I'm assuming there's going to be apps, streaming apps, Netflix, Crunchyroll, whatever the hell is going to be on there.
Ugh, I don't like
whatever.
that stuff.
It is what it is.
Keep it
It's just,
simple.
they're, again, matching the market. It just is what it is,
The
right?
Switch doesn't have any of that junk.
Yeah, I know.
Which,
It's-
for
it's
now,
been- That's because Nintendo's stupid.
I just can't imagine anybody in their right minds in this day and age having that as like their core system. Like that's going to be their mainline system.
No,
is the
I don't
Atari
think
box.
I don't think anybody's going to have that as their core system.
I think this is the Wii Ouya 2.
Well, it's going to cost more than the Ouya. It's priced at $249 to $299 American, so we'll see how that runs.
it's been crowdfunded, right?
Not yet. It's going to be crowdfunded on Indiegogo sometime in the near future.
God.
That is the piece where I'm like, okay, I think this is already dead in the water. As soon as they need to go to crowdfunding for this kind of shit, like, what can you really do with this? Who are you really going to get backing you on this?
Doesn't Atari have money?
I don't know.
Do they make games? They make those Godzilla games, right?
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, Sega's not making systems anymore. Like I think
Yeah,
they
but if
still make
Sega,
arcade games.
if
and
Sega
stuff.
was going to make
Yeah.
a system, Sega's big enough that I think they make a good amount of money where they can manufacture a prototype and
They make arcade classics still.
who?
Atari.
yeah, there's
Atari still
like
makes
Atari retro systems that you could buy on fucking Groupon or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That, and they've already made like discs for PS4, if I'm not mistaken, and Xbox and whatever that have all the old school Atari games. So like they're trying to get themselves back out there.
On the Xbox One X?
Yes, 60 frames per second on Centipede.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Centipede in 4K? This is very important to
It
me.
is. It's very true.
I need to be able to see the sharpest lines of Jaggies.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this thing. I think it is gorgeous looking. I think the idea behind it could potentially work. I just don't think that they're going to be able to compete.
Duh.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Have we seen the controllers?
I haven't. I don't remember what they're like, but I'm pretty sure they're like old school Atari controllers with the big joystick and a couple buttons and whatever.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Mind you, don't quote me because I'm sure they're going to have a gamepad of sorts.
Yeah,
they're
I'm
going to
sure.
have to,
Yeah.
right?
I just feel like they're stuck in this. We want to be retro and modern at the same time, which is like, you don't put 1800s or whatever it is. You don't put stuff from the Model T on new cars and call it retro.
Yeah. I think for this system to be successful, they need Pitfall, like one of their old franchises, and they need to update it with at the style of like Uncharted.
Like Super Pitfall?
No, like Uncharted level, like you know what I mean?
Wasn't
they
there like
need
a
to make
3D Pitfall that they made for like 64? Wasn't there like a Pitfall 64?
I think there was, but
Yeah.
they really need to make a AAA title that's going to be a masterpiece.
Well,
they need a Breath of the Wild on
If
this
they're
system.
putting
Yeah, I
their
agree.
system on Indiegogo or whatever, I do not think they have the money to make AAA titles anymore.
I know.
That was my whole point. Like as soon as I saw
it's
this being
speculation,
crowdfunded,
but-
look, fair enough. Speculation, conjecture, whatever, doesn't matter.
On my part as well as...
Yeah, it just as soon as I saw that it's going on Indiegogo, it made no sense
Yeah.
because it just means they don't have the funds to do this right now. Like you can't buy developers with an Indiegogo crowdfunding. What are you doing?
It's fidgeting.
He's fidgeting and playing with the dice tower. Why?
It's not enough for a system to just release a system. You need games for your system to be
I agree.
successful, or else you're gonna look at it like the Wii U. It didn't have any games at launch, and
Wow, I never thought I'd heard you. I'd ever hear you say that.
a system needs really good games. The only reason the
does.
Switch is a really good idea, and if Zelda didn't come out with the Switch, would it still be successful?
Not anywhere near.
Well, we don't know that is the answer.
Is my opinion.
Yeah, it's your opinion.
Is also my opinion.
You
Yeah.
think so?
I think so. I think that Switch, it would have taken a longer time to pick up at the very least.
Okay.
I mean, let me put it like this. My buddy Johan, right? He's a gamer, but like more of a casual gamer. Like he'll jump in and play a whole bunch of games and whatever, but like he's mostly playing like Mario Karts, or he's now playing Knack 2 with his wife. I know I kind of
Back to the
reaction. Back to the future.
Yeah, don't classify Knack and Mario Kart in the same category.
A lot of casual people play both of those games, so I'm just using them
one's
as
good.
examples. Anyways, my point behind all of this is that I convinced him to get the Switch and to buy Zelda, and that was the only reason he bought the Switch. He already owns Mario Kart 8 on his Wii U. He doesn't need it. He bought it again, but he doesn't need it. Now he's playing Breath of the Wild, and all he talks about, whenever we're at work, all he talks about is how amazing Breath of the Wild is,
That
how much
game-
he loves his Switch.
That
It's
game is
crazy.
very accessible. We got Ryan's wife playing it.
Yeah.
She's not a gamer.
Oh, Dots. Yeah.
We got
We've had Dots on the podcast before.
we got my partner Jonathan. He's not really a gamer, and he's like deep into Breath of the Wild right
Oh,
now.
he was getting so pissed when he was playing Splatoon. That was the funniest
Yeah, he
shit
plays
I've ever
Splatoon,
seen.
but I gave him a link between two worlds.
Link Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds. Repeat after no.
And I gave him that game. I'm like, maybe you should try this game before you try Breath of the Wild. And he hated it. It was just he had no idea what he was doing.
Really?
And I gave him Breath of the Wild, and he's like, he picked it up faster than I picked it up.
Huh. That's
I
crazy.
mean, he didn't run naked into Hyrule Castle?
No, he did not. But I helped him.
Yeah, I really think that.
Oh wait, by the way, is Breath of the Wild DLC coming out this holiday? I don't think so. They said it was, but is it?
If you don't know, then I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. But
think
as far as I know, they said it was supposed to be holiday season. We're just probably going to see it in November or December.
I think we're gonna see it in spring. I think it got delayed.
You think so?
I
You
think
think it's
so.
going to be in early 2018?
2018. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Back to your point.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember what it was. It's all good.
Yeah, Atari's gonna fail. Next in news,
Yeah.
we have a question from one of our listeners.
One of the listeners that you guys saw in last episode.
Yeah, CashCon Pro.
Yeah?
He asks, there's a two-part question. Number one, are mobile games dead? 1, 2, 3. No.
Yes.
You think they're
No,
dead?
I don't. I was just trying to be different.
Yeah.
No, they're not. I again, from work, friend of mine, Lily, she always comes up to me during work. It's like, oh my God, this new game is amazing on my iPhone. I can't stop playing it.
Like Clash of the Titans?
No, it's Star Brawlers or some shit like that.
Okay.
It's only available on iOS. I was trying to get onto it, but I played it on her phone. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, no. Do you play mobile games?
I don't, mostly because I don't like the free-to-play sustainability models. Like, it just, I get pissed off when a game, it's either, like, even if it's just, well, you could be less inconvenienced if you pay money. Like, that bothers me.
Oh, man, me too.
And that's why I really, really wish the Mario Run model would become more prevalent in the mobile gaming industry, but it's become the accepted thing that mobile games are either free or less than $5, and that you will have to continue to pay as you continue to play them if you really want to make progression.
Yeah.
I'm really sad about Super Mario Run not taking off, because it had such a transparent model and they were being really upfront and honest about it.
It was just the wrong model. They could have been upfront about it as well and just priced it like at the half as much, and they would have made a shit ton.
But
it's what I was saying at the beginning when we had that like gigantic argument in episode like what 7 or whatever when it came out. Like, it's just
unfortunate because I think those games are worth $10. It's a really good game. I like it, and it just, unfortunately, when people see $10 immediately they run. But
I still
they'll eventually not, like, if you're playing one of those mobile games that have microtransactions, people will spend over $100 without even knowing it. You know what I mean?
Of course, absolutely. Now this is the thing: they could have made a $5.99 game and had no microtransactions at all.
It was a $10 game with no microtransactions.
Yeah,
they just released an update with you can now play as Princess Daisy, and there's a new mode. It's like a WarioWare mode. It's like 10-second levels, and you got to like beat like 10 levels in a row. It's actually, I think, better than the original Mario Run game because it's more mobile friendly.
Yeah, see, to me, they could have set new precedents. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it could have been something that they had done where said, look, we're not doing microtransactions. We are going to do this at $5.99. We're going to sell it to you guys at this price.
Yeah.
Go nuts with it. A lot more people probably would have bought it, probably would have experienced it. Like, I was talking to one of my little cousins the other day, and she was talking about Mario Run. I'm like, oh, did you buy it? She's like, no, I just played the first 4 levels and I haven't touched it since. And it's like, like, nobody cares enough because as much as people love Mario, they don't want to spend $10 on an app. And I don't think Mario's
the expectation from the mobile market right now.
That's what it is.
And, like, I liked what they were doing, what they were trying to do. Me personally, I didn't buy it, but I tend not to play mobile games in general, but that's just because I've always, until recently, had the habit of having a phone that was at least 4 or 5 years old. Which means I couldn't really play a lot of them very well. But yeah, like, it was definitely an interesting business experiment of how they set up this model. I do agree with Poli that they probably should have come up with a cheaper thing. I don't know about just getting rid of the microtransactions altogether, because it's the expectation, because it's almost as if they're hamstringing themselves by not giving themselves the advantage of that super low entry point. And that addictive cost sort of structure that is completely engrossed in the mobile gaming sphere. Now, back to the actual question, because I never formally answer it, but saying no, it's not dead. And I think that mobile gaming will always have a firm foothold, particularly in like the super casual sphere, like people that do not own a system, do not have a PC that has actual games on it, but people that just want to waste time on the train but don't have a Switch.
Yeah.
And that market's never going to go away.
I disagree. I think video games are well and alive right now, but they will die. We will have a mobile crash like we did in the 80s with the console crash, because you're getting so much junk on your phone. You're getting all these microtransactions. People will start to wise up to this, and I think there'll be some sort of crash in the near future where the model will change for the better.
I don't necessarily think so. I know where your mindset is.
I hope
with this.
so. It's a prediction. It's more of a hopeful prediction than an actual prediction.
The problem is that the NES or I should say before the NES, the Ataris and the Commodore 64s and whatever, anything that was out at that time during the crash, they were luxury items. These smartphones are now, essential necessities. Right? In some way, shape, or form, whether you have an S4 or an S8, it doesn't matter. You're still able to play mobile games, right? So with this, you having this device on you at all times and this being the new standard for a mobile phone, this is something that is not a gaming device. It's just something that the gaming industry has implemented itself into, aside from all the other functions that are with it. So I think that although I know exactly where you're coming from, that it probably would if it was something else as a proprietary dedicated system. Because it's on something so universal, it won't crash at all. It's probably going to keep building and building and building.
That's fair.
And probably get too flooded for its own good.
It's already flooded.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's already at the point where it's too flooded for its own good.
It's
when
going
you
to
just
get
have
worse.
So many crappy games in the Play Store.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be cell phones, and there's always going to be games on them. Like, that is just the way that things have become.
Yeah.
Until it gets to the point where they actually start implanting chips in our brains, or whatever the next technology may be after that.
The iPhone from Futurama.
And
they actually installed it in
the
your
literally
eye.
iPhone.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
It's just too lucrative. Like, why would it ever stop? I do not see the super casual person ever wising up to be like, oh, this game's free. And then once you get hooked on it, oh, okay, $5 is not too much. Oh, okay, $5 again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, $2
Are these
here.
people are just like dumb sheep? Don't they realize they're wasting their
It's
money?
human nature. It's manipulating like
It's just
certain gambling.
addiction. It's you're
yeah,
taking advantage of people's addiction. It's horrible.
It is. It's
The only thing that could stop microtransactions is if government stepped in and determined that this is a form of gambling, and it would be the same thing for loot crates or any like when I say loot crates, I mean like loot like randomized cash-based unlockables in games.
Yeah, there's that scandal going on right now with loot crates.
well, not necessarily a scandal, but it's just
It's like it's huge in the
general
news, yeah.
outrage. But yeah. But Arzee, if you want to continue with that.
I mean, it's becoming a concern now where we have games like Star Wars Battlefront 2, AAA full-price games, instituting a system that not only can be pay to win in its form, but you're not even necessarily getting what you pay for. What you're paying for is just the chance to get a randomized upgrade that could give you an edge over everybody else, which is kind of messed up. Like, and everybody loves to shit on EA, but this is really getting to the point where not only is the mobile sphere alive and well, it's leaking into the console sphere.
Yeah.
When they're seeing this is a fantastic revenue stream where you can make shoestring budget, very crappy games that are addictive enough and people are just going to be constantly paying instead of a one-time cost and trying to get continual games or continual sales of a game or just automatically work on the next sequel. You can have one game, keep that game going for an indefinite period of time, and just have a renewable income stream from the people that are hooked on the game.
Yeah, I think you're right, absolutely, because it's not just the fact of like, and it's what you said before with the fact that this is a fully priced game. Yeah. This is a $79.99 USD game coming out, and also now having microtransactions that may be not detrimental, but necessary to really compete in this game as time goes on. It's fucked up. This is what people were scared of when DLC first started coming out. That people are going to start putting stuff behind paywalls, and why aren't we getting the full game, and blah, 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 whatever. And with DLCs, certain times they were right, and most of the time they weren't. It really depended on the game, but this time around, like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it in like different degrees. Look at Breath of the Wild, for example. You tap a $20 amiibo and you get a loot crate.
Yeah.
Fall from the sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and this is where you have to sort of draw the lines of what's acceptable. Like for Breath of the Wild, it's basically cosmetic stuff. Like it's not.
But it's still like I went and got those. I went to go buy those spoof NFC cards just because I want the 8-bit costume. I want all those Zelda costumes. I enjoy it.
But with Amiibo, it's a very different situation. I mean, with them specifically, like how much is a pop figure nowadays? $20 ish.
Is it that much? I've never bought one.
I think there's somewhere around there, but let's say 15, 20 bucks.
It's that area.
Realistically, they're obviously bigger than Amiibo, but when you're looking at general pricing for figures of popular franchises, Amiibos are kind of on the mark, right? For when it comes to pricing. So you're buying something that is a figure. And now this figure has functionality within the game, and you don't have to pay for it time and time again. Once you have that Amiibo, you can use it unlimited times throughout the game. So it's not as anywhere near as skeezy with the Amiibo system because, again, you're buying something like a figure. Now, if you don't want the figure and you just want the NFC stuff, none of it's been really behind a paywall. No matter what I said about Breath of the Wild before.
Samus Returns.
Besides a super hard mode that they might release as DLC later on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is not something that was in the original game. It was just a little aside because they already had the assets for the fusion stuff and how we're going to implement this into the game later on.
Yeah.
to me, it's not that big of a deal. It's a super hard mode. I mean, look, come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that's a little bit the borderline, because for me, where I draw the line is when it's something that affects gameplay in a substantial way.
Yeah.
If that super hard mode is a big deal to you, then that could be frustrating that you're forced to buy these amiibos. For me, I like the costumes. It does annoy me that it is sort of a loot crate thing where you have to constantly re-swipe it, but it's not like you put in one amiibo and then you don't get it and you have to toss it out and you have to get a different one and buy a different one every time. And it's not like, let's say, each one of every 20 amiibos is packaged with a signature code that will unlock something special, and that way you have to buy 20 of them in hopes of getting the actual rare one with the gold coin underneath it.
Exactly.
Like it's there's definitely a line you could draw in the sand. Where that line may differ from person to person, but there's definitely a lot of what's happening that's frightening in the gaming world, that a lot of people are crossing that line where the majority of people would have it.
Let's just hope it doesn't catch on, because there's always going to be those idiots out there that want to cheat and they're willing to pay their way to victory.
Yeah.
Let's hope that stays to a minimum and that this model essentially fails, because if it takes off, we are looking at an absolute shitstorm in the coming years.
But already, everybody's being vocal about it, and EA knows for sure, because everybody's making a really big deal about it, and that's a really good thing. We gotta be vocal, and we gotta let these people know what we're thinking, and force them to change their mind and their model.
Yeah, well, I mean, all you could do really is vote with your wallets, but
no, Twitter, like you could. I don't like that slogan. Vote with your wallets. No, go online and send letters and.
Yeah, but EA is basically denied that what they're doing is any sort of problem. And as somebody, I think you're always going to see this kind of behavior from the big guys, from your EAs that have enough money that they don't really care who they piss off, because everybody's sort of tied in with their franchises. Yeah. They have the assets, they have all the cards. It would be very frightening if we saw this kind of thing from Nintendo and I mean, what it will cause in a lot of places is people to retreat to the indie world. And then as the indie games start coming in and chewing up market share, and they start seeing that their profits are losing, and when I'm saying they, I mean the big guys, that is the only time that something might actually change. Like, EA has been voted the most hated company in the world. I don't know how many times it was, over like ExxonMobil or
ExxonMobil, Time Warner, like
over friggin' like Halliburton, like over companies that actually cause havoc on a global scale. EA gets shit on, and has that slowed them down in the slightest? No. So I don't think the Twitter is going to affect them. The only thing that's going to affect them is if their sales stop, but it's never going to stop because people are going to still buy.
Exactly.
Until there is somebody that can compete against their AAA titles, against their mainstays. They're too big to fail until somebody can rise up to that level.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's sad, but I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess.
I don't think we're going to see like something at the level of Call of Duty Modern Warfare happening from like an indie developer. Like the closest thing we've seen somebody shooting up is like CD Projekt Red with the Witcher games. Having an indie developer that has proven themselves to be sort of solid in terms of their customer-oriented policies and actually having solid content in their games.
Well, and free DLC for the first, year and a half of the game's release. Like, it was just... Yeah, the updates were DLC. Here's a new part to the world. Here's a new thing in the world. Here's, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to our second question.
Cool.
Sure.
What game would you like to see ported to mobile?
Stardew Valley. I was gonna say, actually, it said Skyrim, but that
would have been amazing.
Anyway.
Is Skyrim not on mobile?
It will be soon.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be.
I'm sure they'll have Skyrim on like my microwave.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Stardew Valley.
You can't play that on mobile. You need buttons.
Do you though? You can use the cursor.
That's true, but your finger will block it.
Yeah.
You need it like a stylus, like a Samsung Note would be perfect for it. Because
I would say there's very few franchises I would not want to see on mobile if they could avoid the mobile marketing, the microtransactions. Basically, if I did not know for sure that playing this game would involve microtransactions, either for anything more than just cosmetic shit. Yeah. Even if it was just like in Pokemon Go, how a lot of the stuff that you buy is more to just make your progression faster or less of a nuisance.
Yeah.
Like if I was to expect that to happen with any franchise, I wouldn't want anything to go.
Yeah. Okay. Let's push microtransactions aside.
Yeah.
We live in a world where
so we're talking about purely from the platform's capability.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, like, I still think Stardew Valley, if it maybe not in the version that it's in now, but like in a, I don't even want to call it a port, but if they made a version of that specifically for mobile, and I know there's Farmville and stuff like that exists as of right now, but everything is so heavily in the microtransaction thing. I don't want to have to share with 5 friends in order to make my crops grow.
Yeah.
I don't want to make sure that I'm checking in every day because somebody might invade my farm. like if they could make it all the joy of that game, the peacefulness, and actually make it functionally work, even if it's a little bit more stripped down, I think it could work very great on mobile.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough because I've seen certain games like fan-made that I would have loved to see on mobile go to mobile, and it doesn't work. Zelda doesn't work. Pokemon, as much as it's amazing, has been done now, so I can't really say anything about that.
You gotta understand that it's a touch-based system.
It is.
You have to consider the controls.
Of course, and that's kind of where I was coming from with this. So I think realistically, if there was anything that I would want to see ported to mobile, it would have to be something like 1942.
Oh, wow.
Is that the shmup?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
how would you control it?
It's not already? Or I guess you could just get it on like an emulator as of right now.
You can for sure, but it wouldn't control the same way because you'd have to use like the weird thumb pad circle thing. What essentially how shmups work on mobile is you put your finger on the plane and then you just move the plane around. It is the most intuitive way to play that game out of any other way I've ever played it.
Okay.
It's awesome. So something as old and as iconic as 1942, I would love to see that on mobile. Even the new PS3 version. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. For me, I don't think I'd like to see a port per se because it's such a different platform that you really have to rethink your games when you're making something for mobile.
That makes sense.
You'd have to see something fresh.
But he asked what would be ported though.
I know. I'm changing the.
Why are you
the
disrespecting
question.
Cash like this?
I'm not. I'm just saying. I think I'd like to see a franchise that I'd like to see is Mario Kart.
Yeah.
You put Mario Kart on there, make it
Gyro controls.
Yeah, have gyro controls. Have one button for jump and one button for your
item.
weapon.
Yeah.
So when you're making your turns, you jump, you grind into them the same way you would.
Yeah.
It's already been proven that motion controls work with Mario Kart.
They do, and it's been proven that it works on phones for games as well. So.
Yeah, so I think that should be one of Nintendo's next game, Mario Kart Mobile.
I agree. That would be awesome.
I think it would be really fun.
Yeah, as long as you don't make it like the actual, like the arcade game that's in like the Dave and Buster's. Because
me and Arzee, it's actually really. I played it the first time in
finally
Vegas.
Played it. Yeah,
it's really fun.
I don't know. I disagree. I want my Mario Karts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want them too. But yeah, mobile is still a fairly new space, and people have to take care into what they put onto it, and just have respect for the game itself.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's our 3 choices.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, CashCon Pro, for submitting the question.
Yeah.
We always love questions. If anyone else has any questions, please submit in the comments down below. Or you could find us on Facebook.
Yeah, if you're listening on SoundCloud, we have comments in there as well as YouTube. You can find us on Facebook if you're anywhere else. Let's say iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbay, TuneIn, any one of those outlets. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, leave us a comment.
Yeah.
We also have a new video called Versus Mode.
Yeah, new show.
It is
New show on the YouTube channel.
It is a weekly show every Wednesdays.
If you're on Facebook and Instagram, we'll be releasing the characters to choose.
Yeah, so far we had old retro Yoshi versus modern Yoshi.
Yeah.
And retro Yoshi won, which was fun.
Yeah.
Check it out. Check that video on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yep.
We have the newest video is Wind Waker Link versus Breath of the Wild Link. And if you're still watching or listening, please leave a comment down below or anywhere from our other outlets.
Yeah.
And
If you guys like us, please subscribe. We're going to be making a lot of content, so
that's
be
exciting.
expecting some of the few coming weeks.
Yeah. Also, check us out on Instagram. We put up photos daily, and that you could find us at Game and Watch It.
Yeah, fully spelled out. Watch it.
Yeah, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And scene.
See ya.